Hey everybody, I'm back in the living room at my desk at my computer, and today is going to be a video where I show you how I use Openshot to edit my videos. Openshot has been the only thing that I have used for my entire YouTube time. It's very simple, it's free, you can download it online. I use an older version of Openshot because the newer versions I had some trouble with the audio, and I could not go through the hassle of the technical things that I would have to do to have to fix it. So I just keep using the old version. Like I said, I've been using Openshot the whole time I've been doing YouTube. It's the only thing that I've been using. I do find some issues with it, and I am considering looking into using a better software. But if you're just starting out and you don't want to spend any money on something for editing, this is a good starting place. If you're using a GoPro, you'll need one of these little doohickeys. It's a little USB card reader. They're very cheap. The little GoPro thing fits right in there. You hook that in your USB, open it up, and download to your computer. Alright, so let's take a look at the Openshot screen. Let's go over the basics, everybody. Over here on the right, this dark area that you see the mouse swirling around in, that is where you're going to see what you are doing, where your video will show. To the left of that, this is the area where your files will be when you pull them in. You can also see these other tabs next to where it says project files right here. You've got transitions that you can add between clips, effects that you can add to clips, and emojis that you can put in the video as well. Up on the top, I'm really only going to show you what I use, because the other things I don't even know what they do. I don't even use them. You understand? To pull in your new clips, you click on the plus button. That is going to open up your files for you. When I download my GoPro files, they go under pictures for me. And then I type in the file name. With GoPro, the file names start with GH and then a number. And the good thing about it is it goes in order, so you know which clip is going to be next and you don't have to go searching for it. You can just type the number right into the computer and pull the clip up. When you want to edit the clip, click on it and drag it down into the tracks. There are 5 tracks here, you can see, all layered on top of each other. This is so you can put different elements into the video. If you want to add something in front of the video, for instance, when I pull in the orders, that's how it shows over the video. Whatever's on top is going to be what shows. If I put this clip under, it's not going to show up. So clips that you want to put visible on the screen need to go on the top. Other clips like music, you would put underneath on track 3 or however you're setting it up. I usually put my main clips on track 4, and that way I have a track above and a track below so that I can add things to them. If you click on File, it'll open up. Now, when I was using my old computer, there were a lot of times where Openshot would just close all by itself because the computer couldn't handle the amount of whatever that it needed to run. If that happens to you, you can click on File, you can go to Recent Projects, and then click on whatever was the last thing that you were doing, and it will open it up for you. You can also save your project as. When I save my project, I save them as working and then whatever number dash I'm on. So working whatever, I save it, and then when I come back, I can go under File, go to Open Project, and just click on it. Working 254. And it's going to pull in what I've already been working on. Also on the top, we have some other things. Title is something that I use to add text to the videos. These are the free templates that they have. You might notice that I use this one. Title. This is where I use at the end of the videos when I'm giving you like the total for the day. So I can just easily type in here. I save it, and it comes down in this area with the project files. Then, let me just scooch you over here a minute. Actually, let's go to the end. Then I can take it, and I want this to show, so it's got to go above. I'm going to put that right there, and then you can see that it's on the screen. The ones that are highlighted red are the ones that you are currently working on. So any changes you try to do are going to happen to the one that is highlighted red. So if you want to move this, you can just click on it because it's the one that's highlighted red, and it will move, and you can move it to wherever on the screen you want to. You can use your cutting tool, which are the scissors down here, to cut it like this, or you can just drag from the end and make it whatever size you want. You can see they also have animated titles, but I believe those are for the paid, the ones, the Openshot that you have to pay for. You understand what I'm saying? I've never actually tried to use them. For view, sometimes when you are not familiar with Openshot, you click on something and then you freak out because you don't know how to put it back to normal. Should that ever happen, that's happened to me many times, click on View, go to Views, and just click Simple View. That's gonna put it back to like the normal view that it's usually in. If you don't like it this way, you can adjust it. So look at these areas right here of these dots. You can adjust this one up and down, so you can see more of your tracks this way, and it'll make the project files and the video screen smaller. And you can also do it the other way if you want to make the files smaller and the video bigger. Over here on the bottom, you have the plus sign again where you can add your clips. This magnet thing is the snapping tool. This is something that is going to be very helpful. What it does is it snaps one clip to the other. So when I move this here, you see that little blue line that happens? That happens when the clips are touching. You don't ever want to have clips that are not touching, because then you're going to have like a black space in your screen with nothing there. If there's ever an instance, let me find something to add here at the end. If there's ever an instance where you're trying to make the clip a certain size, because you only want it on the screen for a certain amount of time, but the magnet isn't allowing you to do so. So if I want to see how it goes from this size to just, it snaps away. If you're having that kind of issue, you can always just click on the magnet and turn it off. And then I can go here and I can make it a smaller size and it's not going to snap. And then when I get it to the size that I want, I can just turn the magnet back on. If you want to remove a clip, click on it so that it's highlighted red. Right click and this screen will pop up. Remove clip is on the bottom. This little teardrop is your marker. So say for instance you have a clip. Let me pull one in. Oops, I'm in the wrong place. Huh? Let's say you have a clip and you know at a certain spot that you want to add something to it. So let's say it's right here. This is where you want to add something to your clip. Click, put this thing, see this thing I'm moving? Should be wherever you want the marker to be. Click on the marker and it's going to go right there under that spot. So you can see the marker here. So that way, if you need to keep listening to the clip before you add what you're going to add, you have that marker there so you know exactly where to go back to add whatever it is you're adding. And then to remove the marker, you can just right click on it, or click on it, right click on it, and remove. I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do to your clips. So here I'm going to take this clip of me drinking water, very exciting. Well. And we're going to do things to it. So I'm going to cut it. Alright, and for right now I'm just going to get rid of the rest of that. Where did you go? So here's our clip. Let's click on it so it's red. If we now right click on the clip, we get all this menu of fabulous things that we can do. If we want to copy the clip, we can go up to copy, copy the clip, copy the effects. This is something that I do use because I usually leave a space at the very beginning of the video where I put a clip that's later on from the day. So instead of dragging the clip all the way to that front spot, I can just go to copy, clip, then go to the beginning, paste it there, and it's much easier. Fade. Fade is for the video itself. You can do start of the clip, fast or slow, end of the clip, fast or slow, or the entire clip, fast and slow. Let me show you. So if we do the first part, the start of the clip, and we want to fade in slow, you're going to see these dots here on the bottom underneath the clip. That just lets you know that you've added some kind of effect to the clip. This is how it'll look. If we want to remove that effect, we just go back to fade and click no fade, and then it's going to be normal. You can also do the entire clip if you want to fade it in and out fast. Again, you see the dots show up at the bottom. That means you have added an effect to the clip. Fades in fast.
Well.
Fades out fast. And we'll remove it. Under animate, the only thing that I use under animate is the zoom. because the other things are just kind of weird and I've never needed them for anything. So let me bring this back to the beginning. If I want to do a zoom, let's do it on the entire clip. I will go to zoom and it gives me these options. A few to zoom in, a few to zoom out. So if I want to go in closer, I'm going to do a zoom in 100% to 150%. And it'll look like this.
Well,
if I want to zoom out, we can do 100 to 75, 100 to 50, or it'll start zoomed in and then go back to normal. So let's do the 100 to 50 so you can see what that would look like.
well,
Next on the list is rotate. I've never used rotate either, but you could. Time is something that I do use. So you can do normal time, forward and backward. You can do fast time, forward and backward. You can do slow time, forward and backward. You can freeze. You can freeze and zoom. So normal forward would just be how it normally plays. If we did backward normal, it's a little strange. As you know, I do like to use fast forward a lot. The reason I like to use fast forward a lot is not so much for the fast forward effect, but to save time in the videos and to keep them more interesting. It's kind of boring to watch me walk from one place to the other. So speeding it up helps it be not so boring and also helps to keep the length of my video down. Next on the list, volume. Here is one of the major issues that I have with Openshot. The volume is very hard to control. So you can either do, and maybe on the newer versions they've corrected this, I don't know. You can fade in and fade out, or you can adjust the percent. You can't do both. If you do one and then you try to do the other, it like cancels it. Let me give you an example. So if I want the start of the clip to fade in slow, it's going to do like this.
well,
now if I want to keep it faded in, but I want to reduce the total sound to 50%, I would do entire clip 50% and watch what happens.
well,
It's still the same sound. It didn't make it 50%. So if I reset the volume, why do we still have a thing here? Let's try to do 50%.
well,
If we slice it, say I want this clip to be at 50%, and I want this clip to be at 100%.
Well,
so one of the things that's hard to do with Openshot, especially for the clips that I use, because I'm going in and out of buildings, in and out of the car, outside, into loud restaurants, the volume of my clips changes dramatically constantly. And so using Openshot, it's very difficult to make them all like a level sound so that the sound is staying consistent throughout the video. I'm sure that other editing things do it better. And that's one of the main reasons why I actually want to try to find a new one to use. The sound thing bothers me. So let's go ahead and do some editing, shall we? I've got this clip here. Let's listen to it.
well, we got another order, kids, right up here on the screen. It's a Bob Evans.
So I'm going to bring this over to where I want it to be, right up against the middle track 4. And then I will listen to make sure everything is cut correctly.
Well, we got another order, kids, right up here on the screen. It's a
So now I'm going to have to add the Bob Evans order to the screen. We're going to go to the plus. I keep mine in downloads. What I actually do is I use my phone and I download them to Facebook, because there's so much on my phone that if I try to connect my phone to my computer, it takes forever. So if I just download the ones that I want to Facebook, to only me, and then download them to my computer from there, it's actually much faster. So we are going to click on the plus, go to downloads, find the Bob Evans one here. When it's highlighted, I'm going to right click it and I'm going to open with Paint. Because I don't include the whole thing, I don't want the whole screenshot, I just want the order. I'm pretty sure everybody has Paint on their computer. So we're going to go over here to this little square thing, the select box, go up in the corner, and we can make a box of where we want it clipped. Then we hit this little crop symbol, and now that's all we've got. Hit save, close Paint, click open, and it's going to pop that into your project files. Now we can add it to the screen. We're going to add it right up against that red bar. With it up against the red bar, without playing the video, we are going to adjust it to how we want it to look in the video. So we can drag it all over. And if we go to the corners, we can make it smaller by just dragging the corners in. And then we can move it to where we want it in the video.
Bob Evans, $7.61. 3 point.
Now if I want to stop it here, I can either use the clipping tool to clip where I want, or I can just drag the end of it right here to the red line. And this is how it will look.
Bob Evans, $7.61. 3 point. 5 miles.
I'm going to clip the video here, the clip here. So I'm going to use the clipping tool, which is the little scissors thing. Click on there. Turn the scissors off so I don't keep cutting. And then listen to see how it went. I'm gonna clip here because we don't need all this extra nothing. See? Oh no, I'm still talking. Never mind. So if you make a mistake, you can go and hit the back arrow, the undo, and undo it. I'm gonna clip this a little shorter. In my videos, I don't like to leave a lot of dead time because that's boring.
Or something. Don't use this part. Here. We'll do this, use this part, pulling up there. You can add the screenshot as we're pulling up to Bob.
So this is myself giving myself instructions. And it's a good thing. Now see, sometimes I give myself instructions. I'll say, you know, as I'm recording, do this, put this here, put music on this, speed this up, whatever I'm envisioning as I'm in the process of dashing. But then sometimes when I'm editing and I'm looking at it from a different perspective, I might not always listen to my instructions. So let's look at how it looks when I pull up to the Bob Evans. And if it's a nice shot of the Bob Evans, then I can add that here. Another thing that I'm going to take into consideration is this part of the video here that y'all have not seen. So this is me delivering 2 orders with me talking and music behind it. Since I have that long talking span right there, I probably don't want to have this next talking span where I'm introducing what the next order is. Because you know what guys, believe it or not, people don't want to hear you talk for 30 minutes. That's boring. It's boring. Anybody's voice for 30 minutes nonstop is annoying. Okay? So let's look at what the Bob Evans shot looks like, and then we'll most likely use that shot instead. I'm going to go ahead and click on my scissors to get ready to clip when I see the opportunity.
She said turn left, not do a somersault.
I'm going to go ahead and clip here because I know I'm not using all of this. So I'm going to remove it and just drag this forward.
Turn left, then turn right. Turn right. Then 2410 66th Street North, St. Petersburg, Florida 33710, USA.
Now, the thing that I don't like about that is Miss Emphysema is talking in the clip. So let's see what kind of shot I get as I'm walking up to the Bob Evans.
Drive south, then turn right. Drive north.
I'm not going to clip it and remove the previous section yet because I don't know if I'm going to use that section or the one that's coming up. Now that is a beautiful shot right there. So I'm going to use this shot instead of using the one where Miss Emphysema is talking. So So let's go back. I'm going to clip this here, get rid of all this extra, pull it forward again. Pull it forward again. That car pulling away is a nice addition, so I'm going to clip it there. When I'm selecting the shots that I'm going to use, I'm not going to add it there because we got to remove this one. So let's edit this one first. Things like use whatever is out there to make your video better. So if you're showing a shot and a car passes by, like that's actually pretty cool. Or if it's a beautiful sky, or if there's, you know, certain sounds, you're walking on something that sounds gravelly. All those different things, the different sights and sounds, makes the video more interesting. Again, nobody wants to watch you sit in your car and talk for 30 minutes. That is boring. Give them something to watch. Show them beautiful things. Add music. Different. That's what your video should be, chopped up into segments that are different. It should have a good flow, but it should be different so that the viewer is always being showing something different sound, different this, different that. It keeps them interested in the video so they don't click off. Now there's people coming out of the door right now, so that would be a good spot for me to plop this up on the screen, cover up the people, and then go back to the shot right when I open the door. If I open the door, they might hold it.
Thank you. Yeah.
So here I'm just gonna clip it because I have to wait for the order and I'm not gonna record that whole thing. If you're in a restaurant and you're waiting for an order, do what you want. My suggestion is you don't have to show all the waiting. Find a way to show the waiting without boring people to death with, you know, a 5-minute wait in a restaurant where you're just waiting. You can cut it up into little segments. Show, you know, away from you, pointing towards the counter. Show yourself waiting. You know, show other things happening. So you're showing that you're standing there waiting for a long time, but you're doing it in really short segments so that you're not boring people for 5 minutes. So I'm going to remove the talking clip and I'm going to pull this one forward, and then I will adjust where this is the order that was clipped in Paint. And don't delete that because you still need that because there's more on that you're going to use. So then let's come back up here. Move this because it's already too soon now. So let's go right here, right about when they're going to open the doors. And then we're just going to move this down into the center. Actually, what we can do, let's go ahead and remove how we had it before, and let's just put it so it's big like that. Something else I want to show you right here in this section, where this thingy is that you can drag. You can also change the length of this, and it will change the length of your clips. So if you make it longer, it makes your clips in your working area shorter. If you make this shorter, it makes your clips longer. If you are doing a lot of splicing, or if you're wanting to, say you have a clip and you're trying to cut off like just the very end of it, maybe there's like a little sound or something you start to say that you're not including, and you want to cut it right there. If you make that little blue thing smaller, you get a much better, more precise cut than if you have it longer and your clip is shorter. So when you're doing those real precise cuts, it's good to have it shorter.
Hello, my dear. Hi.
Also, you notice when I'm in the restaurants, I'm not trying to record people. I'm not pointing my camera at anyone. I'm holding it like this on top of the phone so that it's pointing at my chest. I'm only trying to record
Thomas Kavanaugh.
certain things that are happening. Walking in, getting the bag,
Okay.
things like that. I'm not trying to record the employees or, you know, do anything to even make someone realize I'm recording. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip it. I'm gonna go ahead and clip it here because I'm not using any of this stuff. And then I know that I'm waiting here, so I'm just going to kind of skim, because I don't remember if I am waiting a long time if I turn this off and then turn it back on. All right, so it looks like I turned it off, or it could be that I didn't and it went to the next clip. So what GoPro does is it clips your clips into like 11-minute segments. So if you're recording for more than 11 minutes, you'll have a second clip. So for instance, that clip is 4150. Those are the ends. So the GoPro number would be GH014150. If it clipped at 11 and started recording on a second clip, it would be GH024150. If it kept going and it cut again and started a third clip, it would be GH034150. Get it? So I'm gonna check and see if that's what happened. No, so there is no 024150, so I turned it off. So I'm just gonna look for the next one then. So the next one would be 4151. Select it, click open. It'll show up in your project files, and then you can drag it into your working area. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of skim it. This is just to save me time, so I'm not sitting here and wasting time and just waiting all this time. I probably turned it on because I thought they were going to give it to me, so I was trying to be prepared for when that would happen. So you can, they just called the customer's name. I don't include the customer's name. So I'm not going to include her. I'm just to include me grabbing the bag and leaving. So I'm clipping it there. I'm going to pull this forward, and I'm going to pull this to the end of there. Sometimes you'll notice that it's getting stuck and it's not playing smoothly. That's another issue with Openshot as well. It doesn't do it as bad on this computer, but when I was using my really old computer, it was a huge problem and an annoying problem. So right here above track 5, you see like this blue line. That's kind of it getting all of the audio and everything there. So if you play it and you don't see that blue line kind of moving forward, that means it's getting stuck, and you'll see that it's getting stuck because it'll play all choppy like that.
You're welcome. Oh, thank you.
And then we can clip it there. And now we have this.
Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, thank you.
All right, so the rest of this clip is probably just going to be me walking to my car and getting in my car. Which none of this I'm going to use, of course. I just haven't turned off the GoPro yet. So that'll get removed, and then I'll go to the next clip. I also just keep this notebook to help me keep track of the clips and something very simple as to what they are. So for those, I would put like pickup BE for, you know, Bob Evans. And then 4152 would be the next clip. So I would pull that in. And then of course the next clip is going to be the drop off. Now, because this is kind of nice scenery, I may include that as me pulling up to the house, but I know what happens at this house, which is much more interesting than the scenery, so I'm probably not going to include that. I'm just going to go right to me walking up to the house with the order. once I see myself, I clip it, get rid of all this I'm not using, drag it forward. I also listen, I always put it back to the previous one and then play it forward. One, because I want to make sure everything got cut correctly, and two, to check the volume. So if there's one clip that's a lot louder than the other one, I can try to adjust it.
Thank you.
So as you can hear, the Bob Evans one
Thank you.
is louder. So I can go here, go to volume, go to entire clip, and bring it down just a little bit. So if I want to do 80,
Thank you.
and it makes it a little more even. Now I'm going to go ahead and clip that, and I'm going to put this in fast forward ×2. So it's just going to show me walking more quickly. I'm going to pause it to let this little blue line catch up. Anytime you add some effects to it, it causes that sometimes. So you guys will notice the ducks in the lawn that are starting to follow me. So what I'm gonna do, I have a different clip that I took with my phone. So I'm gonna let this play. And I'm going to let it go for a little bit because I have a phone clip that I'm going to bring in. So I'm going to go to downloads and look for my phone clip here. Let's see how long that is. And we'll see how it looks. Now, this might look better if I don't have this background here. So let's clip it. And take off this part. And then let's also watch the phone clip to see if that can be clipped at all.
Hi. It's okay. It's just my phone. What you doing?
I'm going to clip it right there because I know I turned around and then it's just the bag. So I'm going to clip that, and then, and I could leave this up here. It doesn't really matter. It'll play, or move it down here. It's, you've just got to make sure that they're touching, that you see that blue line there, see? Now if I wanted it to fade or transition without adding a weirdo transition from here, what I can do is just overlap. And then you'll see it turn blue, and that is where there's a transition. And so it would play like this. Well, when it plays correctly, let's try that again. It would play like this. Which doesn't look good in this instance, but I just wanted to show you. Also with those, you can right click them and remove them. So we're just going to make this flush, and then we're going to play this again and wait until we see myself walking back after I hand it to him, and then we'll clip it there. This guy took his sweet time. Because my Bluetooth is hooked up, you can hear me calling him because he's not coming to the door.
7107251. Nothing has been recorded. Record your message. Simply hang up when done. Or for delivery options, press the pound sign.
The thing about editing too is that anytime something like this happens, any long wait, any customer wasting your time, they actually waste it twice. Because they waste it when it happens, and then they waste your time when you're editing.
Has been recorded. Record your message after the tone. Simply hang up when done.
Look how long he's taken to come to the door. I should have took the ducks and left with his food. Me and the ducks could have had a nice little picnic. Alright, so he finally came to the door. I'm going to clip it right there, because I'm going to start walking him back. Gonna clip it there. And let's give it a watch. You can see the ducks start to follow me to my car. Alright, let me go ahead and conclude this video here, because if I show you too much editing, this will be hours and hours long. So once you have finished all of your editing, oh, there's some things I didn't show you. Let me show you a couple more things. So the effects would be things like, really like one I would use would be echo. You just drag it and you put it there, and it'll make it sound echoey, of course. And then, of course, right-click it to remove it. I usually use the echo if I go into places and they're playing music that might get copyrighted. I might put an effect over the music to try to make it harder for the AI to detect what song is playing. Emojis, you can just pull those in. Pull it in. It shows up on the screen. You can move it, adjust the size. You know, if I want to make this duck have this face, I'll just put this emoji over him. can do what you want with it there. And if you want to remove it, just right click. When you're done, you would go up to this export video and click on that. I'm not going to do that because I would have to blur the whole thing because it shows all my file names and everything when I do that. But you basically go there, you can title the video what you want it and then where you want it to be saved, and then it exports. Once it exports, then it's on your computer, and then you can take it and upload it to YouTube. I hope this has been a helpful tutorial for you. Please let me know any questions you have in the comments and I'll try to answer them for you. Or if you'd like to see more editing videos, let me know that too. And I'll see you guys in the next one.